Hello everyone, how's everyone doing? It's a beautiful day here in the UK, and Zimbabwe are making a very, very good go of this target. They are, I mean, they're just under the rate, but they're going at very good. They're going at 7.8 and over, which is just below the run rate needed, and they've got 9 wickets in hand. So, to be honest with you, they are making a very good go of this for sure. I thought I'd do a very quick stream. I wasn't expecting to do one, so yeah, but I'm here. I'm here, and yeah, if anyone is interested in tuning in, please do. Let's see as well what bugs I can do because Zimbabwe are almost cruising to a degree here. Good shot. Madver here looks so good, by the way. And I've said that he's a quality player, and he really does look quality. That's his 50. Unbelievable knock, seriously. That is a fantastic knock from Madver here. He is a quality player. If he wasn't playing for Zimbabwe, I tell you what, there would be a lot more hype around this kid. That's for sure. There'd be a lot more hype around this kid. Madfir 51 off 37 balls, and I talked to someone who played for England under 19s. He's the same age, and he said that Madfir is the best player he's played against. He's just such a damn good player, and I think he said at the World Cup, a 90 World Cup, he was a standout for him, and he looks really, really good. Bowls a bit of off spin as well, and yeah, he just come into his own second half century in T20 internationals, and he looks like he can play all three formats. He seems to have all the shots in the book, and also a mature head as well on young shoulders. So very good to see. 85 for one are Zimbabwe, and that was a fantastic shot as well to get his 50, a cover drive through the inner ring. So he's marching forward, and Zimbabwe have got Madvir and Maramani, so they're both pretty set. Maramani's 22 or 15 here, and Osman Gardner has struggled quite a bit. He's gone for 8.5 and 0, which doesn't seem like a lot, but been pretty poor. Bahim Ashraf and Horace Rolfe have been pretty bad as well. Horace Rolfe has gone for 11 off his first one. Bahim Ashraf going for around 9. So it's interesting because Fahim Ashraf is normally very miserly, very, very miserly, but I think the issue that he's had for Fahim Ashraf is actually, I think he prefers to bowl on the more batsman friendly pitches where you can hit the back of a length. There's not much expected, but on these surfaces where you don't get as much bounce, but it's sticky and stopping, his pace maybe isn't the variations. I don't think he's really got those variations as much as other bowlers. So I think he's just been a little bit not erratic, but I think a bit too one pace maybe and too predictable in the way he's bowling. It's 86 for one off 11 overs. Guys and chat as well, thank you very much for tuning in. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does help the channel to grow. You all legends, and thank you very much for doing so. Okay, so Pakistan are in a pretty interesting spot. I would say we need to take a wicket pretty quickly because these guys are definitely going at a very good rate, as I said. But let's see. Let's see. Madhir, I think, is the big wicket. If you get Madhir out, then that helps a lot. Oh, good shot from Maramani into the offside. Very, very good stuff. But bad fielding there from Pakistan. Extra run. Charles says, Hyphus on the Troll Army is back. Zimbabwe playing absolutely amazing. 9 over needed with 9 wickets in hand. They are managing a boundary each over and then rotating the strike. Yeah, they're doing really well. They are doing very well. Yeah, let's see. Let's see. I think Zimbabwe are going at a very good rate here, to be honest with you. And Madver just looks so good. I mean, look at these shots. Just 7 4s, no 6s, but just quality all around the park. Just looks very assured. $88 for one. Off 11 overs. Where's Madver here? So 52 off 39, only 11 dots from the innings, which is pretty good. And looking at his wagon wheel, it's pretty evenly distributed. He just looks a very talented player. Strike rate of 133, and yeah, 89 for one off 11 overs. Oh, good little flick into the leg side, and that's 89 for one, or 90 now for one off 11.4 overs, which is cool. Let's have a look. Horace Rolfe for 0 for 15 off 1.4 overs, and Brennan Taylor at 4. So he did open the batting last match. Yeah, 119, and yeah, it's good. $53 or 40 for Madver here, 26 or 20 for Maramani, so pretty good. And 4 off the over so far. It's a pretty good over from Horace Rolfe. He's been pretty good after a very poor first over, to be honest with you. 11 off it. That's a good flick from Maramani into the leg side. That should only be, yeah, it's 2. It's good running. Good running. What are we thinking? Are we thinking that Zimbabwe are going to get this? I reckon they could. That would be, by the way, if they win this, it's impressive. I'll tell you that. It's very impressive. 92 for one off 12 overs. Right, so let's have a look actually as well. The Pakistan have brought in some of the big guns as well. Hassan Ali's come back in. They tried to short the batting order by playing, well, really 4 openers in Shajil Khan and also Fakhr Zaman and also who else? Yeah, Fakhr Zaman. We also played Mohammad Rizwan, Bob Razam, and Shajil. So that's 4 openers. Oh, there you go, Bob Razam. Just getting down to that one. That's one thing I think that I think it's definitely one thing that Bob Razum can improve on. I think he's not a bad fielder, but I do think he could be better. I'm gonna be honest. I think he could be better. I genuinely do. I don't think he's the best fielder about. But yeah. Right. Okay. So right, 93 for one. Oh, here you go. That's straight up in the air. Is that? Oh my god! It's gone for 6. Has that gone for 6? That is crazy. He's completely mishit that and it's gone for 6. That's carnage. Charles says keep it below 12 runs per over and wickets in hand. The 2 keys for Zimbabwe to look for. I disagree. It's not that easy to bat on this, Charles. It's not. This is not a flat surface. They're not going to go at 12 and 0. They're not even going to go at 10. If they required run rate is 9.32, right? I reckon they need to keep it below 10. If they don't keep it below 10, I reckon they'll lose. 12 and over. The thing is, right, that normally holds true if you're batting on a surface that is a normal T20 surface. This isn't a normal T20 surface whatsoever. Oh, no, that's 4. That's not 6. Okay, it's all good. But even then, but yeah. So this is not a normal T20 track at all. I was actually quite pleased with us getting 160 plus, although it does look to flatten slightly. Or I don't know, can it flatten slightly in a T20 game? I guess it can. But it's been some very good batting as well, especially from these two, and some pretty average bowling at times. But yeah, I think anything over, I think 12 and over is way too much. 11 over will be tough. I think 9.31 is a required run rate. That's okay, but anything over 10 for me is going to be hard for them because the surface is not coming on super nicely. The only thing I might say is that, yeah, Zimbabwe, I guess, are more used to playing on these surfaces, so they might be, well, they will be, yeah, they'll just be more, I think, inclined to definitely play their shots because they're more confident on playing on these tracks. Whereas Pakistan, I think, would be a bit more hesitant to play certain shots. I think he must have been pretty expensive. That's a good slow ball bouncer, though, for a dot ball. He's normally pretty miserly and actually pretty economical, is Fahim Ashraf. So that's a little bit disappointing, I think, from a Pakistan point of view. But everyone's entitled to have a bad game here or there, and you can always bring it back, I'm sure. Mm, right. The 100 is going to come up soon here for Zimbabwe, and they're setting it up pretty well. I think, as a child alluded to, the wickets in hand are very key. The only thing I'd say is that realistically, their batting is not super deep. If I'm being honest with you, I think Sean Williams and Brendan Taylor at 3 and 4, they are key. But Sean Williams has been pretty disappointing. Brendan Taylor didn't get many runs last game as well. So I guess it just depends on how those two do. Maramani's look really good. So let's see. I trust this, but for a side like Zimbabwe with such an inexperienced side, 1 wicket means more to follow than the plot gets completely destroyed. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean as well. That's why I think anything over 10 and over is going to be tough. I don't think it's going to. I think I would expect us to win if the run rate goes above 10. Uh, yeah, but we'll see. Oh, a caught and bowled opportunity there. Very hard on the bat of Madver here. And it's a slower ball, I think, from Fahim Ashraf. I don't know 100% because of no speedometer, but looked like it. Looked like a little off cutter from Fahim Ashraf. And Madver here hits it almost straight to him. Sticks out of hand, but can't grab onto it. And it's a single. So far, 7 off this over. So pretty good over for Zimbabwe. They'll be looking to get at least 2 from the last delivery. And then we get into the 13th. They're 99 for 1 here off 12.5 overs. So very, very, I would say, it's been a pretty polished performance so far from Zimbabwe. It's a good shot down. They're going to look for 2. That's very good fielding. Needs to get up, though. They don't want to see. So Bob Razum there has done really well to stop it. But it's not clean with the fielding. So he's conceded 2 runs where really that should have been 1. 101 for 1. So 9 off it. So that's good. That's pretty good for Zimbabwe. That's almost at the rate they need. So that's a solid over. Charles says, but I understand what you're saying. The pitch is really tough to bat on. That's why these two set guys need to try and bat through as much as possible. Yeah, I think if these two guys, if they both stay till the end, I think Zimbabwe will win. Because once you're set, as you said, it's a lot easier to bat on once you're set. On any surface, really. So just because you become accustomed to the pace of the wicket, the bounce, and what it's doing off the surface as well. So I agree. I think these guys, if they stay in until the end, I reckon Zimbabwe will win. But that's asking quite a bit, I think, from these two because at some point they'll have to go a bit bigger than they're going at the moment as well. So they'll have to take more risks. But let's see. This has actually been a very impressive partnership, I have to say. And one thing I want to say as well is Zimbabwe, I think, are improving. They're nowhere near. They're not near kind of the golden era that they had before, but they are. They seem to be improving. I think part of that is to do with the fact that Pakistan have played them a few times in the last couple of years. Playing against a top team does help, and they played against Afghanistan, who are now a pretty good side as well. That helps. So yeah, I'd like to see some other top teams come and play them and just give them that experience, and also say, you know what, you can come go to them in Zimbabwe, will also say come to us as well. Why not? The required run rate is 9.51. So interesting. See how Pakistan approaches Mohammad Hasnain's good start with a dot ball. The current run rate is 7.67. So yeah, they're going to take more risks. Yeah. Right, 102 for one off 13.2 overs. Maramani is a 35-25, so he's been pretty good, and he's very young as well. So we've got two youngsters at the crease for Zimbabwe, really stepping up, which is great to see. Well, let's see. Charles says, "I have a cricket theory that I'll explain in the comment." Sure. Oh, that's a big wicket. That is a big, big wicket. Hasnain has just cleaned up Maramani, and really, 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 really good bowling from Mohammad Hasnain. And Maramani has to go. He chops on, and it's both his stumps go flying. That's crazy. Middle stump is still in the ground. The other two have gone. 102 for two. Big, big wicket, and they've broken a very, very good partnership here from Zimbabwe. Does one bring two? Let's see. Charles says it's counterproductive to bank on being set in swinging conditions or a spinning wicket, but life is much easier for someone who is set on a seaming or slow wicket. Agreed. Mm, I think it's counterproductive. I think you can still be set on on a swinging or spinning wicket, and it's still very. I think just being set on any wicket is helpful, but I do agree that it's more helpful to be set on a seaming or slow wicket because that's something that I think you really need to be sharp on, and you don't maybe see those as much. You'll see swing and spinning conditions are, I guess, a lot more common. So to come in and play against those, yeah, I agree, is probably easier. To come in early doors onto a seaming or slow wicket is not easy whatsoever. So yeah, I agree. But again, I think it just depends, right? Being set in general as a batsman, once you've got your eye in, it definitely does help once you've soaked up a few deliveries, which is why people say that when you're in your 20s or 30s, it's disappointing because you've had time at the crease for the most part and you've had time to kind of settle into the conditions. And then if you don't go on to get a 50 plus score, there's that thinking, well, you've really not cashed in there because you've done the hard yards. But yeah, definitely I agree. I agree for sure. It's a very good over so far as well, by the way, from Hasnain. Only one run from it and a wicket and one ball remaining. And the required run rate is now gone above 10. So it's going to be tough. Brendan Taylor can whack though, so let's see. But he'll have to start off pretty quick here, and he hasn't. Two dots to start off with for him. And that'll be a single, and the over's only two off it. That's a fantastic over from Mohammad Hasnain, and that's really helped Pakistan's cause for sure. Fantastic bowling from him. Right. Right, okay. O2 is flexible tariffs. 103 for 2 off 14 overs. 56 off 44 for Madver here. So he is now set, but he's the only set batsman in. They've still got Brandon Taylor and Shaw Williams, obviously, is coming in after. But let's see. Honda Singh says, dude, what's happening to Barber's timing? I don't think. Look, I'll be honest with you. I think these pitches are not super suited to his batting. So the fact that he's got runs is actually pretty impressive. And again, he is one of the best players around, I'd say. But these tracks are not super easy to play on, especially if you're someone who And if you're someone who relies on timing rather than bludgeoning the ball, which he does, like him, your Kohleys, your Williamsons, your Steve Smiths, then when you have a track like this, which is stopping a lot and it's not coming onto the bat, and there's not many like this in T20s anymore, it's very hard to score super quickly if you are more of the kind of traditional sense. That's what I would say. So I just think it's a case of the pitch not suiting his style of play. And yes, he tried to adapt and he's tried to play more kind of. I can tell he's tried to open his game up a little bit. It hasn't worked, but it's okay. He's still got a decent score. It wasn't amazing strike rate, but if I'm being honest with you, he's batting alongside Mohamed Rizwan, who was scoring quickly, and the combination worked well. He just played more of an anchor, and in addition to that, the score we got, I think, is a pretty good score on this surface. So not too much to I think to take from this one. We will see. Charles says in a test match on a Ahmedabad dry pitch or a green top at Headingley or New Zealand batsmen should focus on scoring runs ASAP rather than trying to get them set in. I disagree, actually, because as a batsman, you need to back your ability. If you don't back your ability, that's what when you come out and try and start blasting everywhere because you think that your time is you're on borrowed time, so you just come out trying to blast everywhere, right? But I don't agree with that. England tried to do that against India, and if you remember, and they got destroyed. They tried to come out and play shots and be aggressive, and they got destroyed. So, like maybe calculated aggression, fine, but I think you need to be pretty clever with where that you play. You can't just come out and say I'm going to score quickly as soon as possible. Like it's not 2020; it's a test match still. So, um, yeah, I kind of disagree with that point. If I'm being honest with you. I think you have to still be pretty clever, and there's a reason why openers are in there to see off the new ball. That's their main primary objective is to see off the shine off the new ball. It doesn't matter what pitch you're on. Yes, of course, you tweak the way that you play, but I would say actually on a dry pitch or a green top, if you're aggressive and you're down 0 for 2, 0 for 3, that's a nightmare because people trying to come in against a new ball on these tracks is even harder than the other tracks that we're talking about. So this is very, very difficult, I would say. On a green top in heading near New Zealand, like you don't want to be 0 for 2. 0 for 2, you're screwed. Like that's it. Like you're going to get skittled. And in Ahmedabad, that's exactly what happened to England on that dry pitch. So yeah. Mohamed Snake says, I can't believe he scored 149 balls just a few matches before. Yeah, but it's different surface, buddy. It's a different surface. It's in South Africa. The pitches are very, very different. The past score at Supersport Park was 200 plus. And in Zimbabwe, we've seen scores of what? 140, 150, 160? Different ball game. Mohamed Snake, this is what did he make of Madver here? His quality. He's really, really good. I said this actually before this series. I said it in the last series where we played Zimbabwe last year. I said he's a really, really good player. I said I really rate him. And I said as well, so I interviewed someone, I've said this a few times, who plays for Kent, so the county here for Kent, off spinner, and also played for England under 19 World Cup last year. And he played against Madver and he played against Australia, Sri Lanka, West Indies. And he said the player that stood out to him the most out of all the players he played against in the under 19 World Cup was Madver. He said he was really class. Didn't slog, he had all the shots in the book, and he could bowl as well. Just looked really assured and mature. And that's exactly what he looks. Marlon Snake says he looks class. All class, agreed. Plus, he's so young. I 100% agree with you. Couldn't agree anymore. Charles says, but on Perth or some slow wicket like UAE/Harare, I'd rather get set in since there is no horizontal movement. Getting set is mostly about timing, isn't it? No one can correctly judge swing or seam. Yes, you can. Of course, you can correctly judge swing or seam. Of course, you can, Charles. Of course, you can. You can pick it from the. If it's early swing, you can pick it from the hand. If it's late swing, then you have to play it later. But even then, you can judge it through the air. If you pick up the length and also the bowler's wrist, seam is a bit different because that nips off of the seam, and that's something which you then need to get. If you get in line, then it's a lot easier. With seam, it depends, right? Because if it's nipping away from you, that's not an issue. If it's nipping into you, then you've got a little bit of a problem. But that's when the inside edge comes into play. That's gone straight up in the air. That's Madver here, and what a catch from Mohammad Rizwan. What a catch. Oh, wow. Madver here, that's a huge wicket for Pakistan. That's an absolute, he had to go. That's what I mean. The run rate had gone above 12. That's it. It's game over, I think. Let's see, though. Oh, actually, no. I said it was a great catch. It was a good catch. He actually misjudged it. But yeah. But yeah, you can definitely judge swing and seam movement is I would say personally, seam is a lot harder to play than swing. I find playing swing is a lot easier. Even late swing, yeah, okay, fine, is harder, but seam movement is a nightmare because it just nips off the seam and it's just damn hard to get away. I haven't faced many people that nip it off the seam away. That's quite rare actually. Most people, when they seem to get seam movement, it's normally nips in off the seam, which is quite interesting. I guess it's with the arm, with the angle as well. But if you can nip it away off the seam, then that's really impressive. But I haven't faced anyone yet. I faced people who can swing and seam the ball. That's oh my day. At university days, that was just ridiculous. I remember facing someone at one end, one guy was left armour, like 6'6", swinging the ball both ways. On the other end, it was this guy who was bowling slower, but he was getting nip off the seam. And again, he was like 6'4", and yeah, it was a nightmare. It was my first year at university. Let's just say I didn't get many runs, but yeah, it was it was not easy at all. Mohammed Nasnain says Craig Irvine, Williams, Madhir Taylor. Yeah, awesome batting. Says getting better for Zimbabwe. Agreed. The other guy was brilliant. Yeah, Harare was really good. A left-hander. I was really impressed by him. Not Harare, sorry. Harare is where they're playing. Got mixed up, haven't I? Yeah, I have. Okay, so let's have a look. Sorry, Maramani even. So Daniel Bell Drummond is one of the cricketers that I interviewed on my channel, and he scored 114 in a county game. So batting with Zach Crawley, Joe Denley, etc. So playing for Kent. Oh, that's another wicket. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That's a poor, poor shot. Straight to the man at 45. Hassan Ali gets another wicket. This is big, big stuff from Pakistan. And they should win from here now pretty easily. Charles says, thanks for giving the batsman's perspective. I've seen the game from different lenses all my life. Yeah, exactly. I'm just so disappointed with Usman Ghadir. He clearly isn't Shadab's replacement. He's not Shadab's replacement because Shadab is a all-rounder. So, okay, so Chakabavi has tried to paddle that, and then he completely misjudged it. And he's hit straight to the man at 45. That's poor. He's 110 for 4 off, well, it's going to be 16 overs. This has been really bad from Zimbabwe. And I guess what I alluded to before about Zimbabwe being inexperienced and losing wickets, that's exactly what's happened here. But yeah, Shadab's an all-rounder, so I think it's pretty different, I would say. But Osman is, look, okay, I think as Pakistani fans, we need to be a little bit careful. These pitches are completely different to what we're going to play in the subcontinent in India. In the World Cup, these pitches, they're worlds apart. What's one guy they're trying to bowl on this is it's just completely different to India. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. He'll definitely be in the squad. I wouldn't be surprised if he plays. And I think he's actually got the X factor. So I would like him to be in our starting 11 if we get towards the World Cup in India. I think he's actually a wicket taking option. I think you need that. But let's see. Let's see. I mean, look, obviously you need to. I think as long as he's bowling consistently, I think that's the biggest thing. If he bowls consistently and doesn't get a wicket, so gets hit a little bit, fine. But yeah. Well played, Mad here. I'm damn impressed with his maturity, talent, and skills. I overrated this kid is going to go places. Yep, agreed. But no, he's got talent and skills anyway, though. He's definitely mature, but he's got a lot of talent and skill as well. Mohammed Snake says it was good to see them in the test matches too. Agreed. Mohammed Snake says Hassan Ali is king of the game now. He is, yeah. And it says, did you just call Chakravarti? No, no way. It's a nice mashup of Zimbabwe and Indian names now. I'm going to chuck that in there. Brendan Taylor's 6 off 11. He's really struggling. So him and Williams are now in. That's very interesting, to say the least. 113 for 4 off 16.1 overs. And straight to Shajil Khan at 45. So Pakistan are in the driving seat, and Zimbabwe had set a really good platform with Madvahir, who performed really well. Madvahir and Maramani, they put on a fantastic partnership of let's have a look, 65. 65? Yeah, 65. 65 indeed. Hey, when is the T20 World Cup? August end, right? No, October to November, a child. October to November. So fees have been really miserly. 6.5 and over. Hassan Ali 5.33, 3 wickets. Hasnain as well. So it's been really good. Hasnain, I think, started this collapse though for sure. So he's been really impressive. Now Brendan Taylor needs to start getting going, and Williams is 2 off 2. They're going to have to just tee off here now because the run rate is way above 12. It's nearly I think it's over 13 now. They're just going to have to tee off. Oh, that's like pretty much what they have to do. I would say 114 for 4. We're halfway through the 16th over, and I'd say Pakistan doing pretty well. Another thing says it's hard to get your timing right on this pitch straight away. The only 2 guys that had almost no issues in getting the timing right away was Madvahir and Maramani. Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably partly to do with the fact that they're used to playing on these pitches, but also, to be fair and to give a lot of credit, Madvahir and Maramani are very young, so it's very impressive either way against this team as well on the bowling lineup. I was very impressed, so I agree. Hannah says they both look fantastic. They did. They did. They looked very much at home, and it was almost like they were playing on a different track, wasn't it? So really impressive stuff, I think, from both of them. I agree. There's 116 for 4 or 16.4 overs, and Williams and Taylor both in. Fanhan Aslam Sandhu says, "How is Pakistan doing?" I'm assuming Pakistan are doing well. We're 116 for 4. Well, that's Zimbabwe 116 for 4. They need 50 off 20 balls. Mohammed Stain says even Taylor struggled, even Barber struggled. Yeah, Taylor is struggling at the moment, 8 off 13, and Barber definitely did as well. I think Barber Azam definitely struggled a little bit. I mean, he's still got runs, so I think. But I think the thing with Barber Azam is we're so used to him being like this full flowing player, but you got to realize that certain pitches will be difficult. But we'll see. Yeah. Charles says, I'll make my early prediction. T20 World Cup might again be shifted. I can't see how India organises it. Still a long way to go. Yeah, there's still quite a few months though, Achal, to be fair. But they need to sort out the cases in India. It's crazy. That's a very good pull shot though from Brendan Taylor, and a much needed boundary. So that's 8 off the over. Not fantastic, but yeah, pretty good. 120 for 4 of 17 overs. Let's have a look. And yeah, much needed boundary for sure. Fanhan Aslam Sandu says, I am your big fan. Thank you very much. Guys in the chat as well, thank you very much for joining. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does help the channel grow. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. You're all legends. And in addition to that, please do share the videos with your mates, with your friends, anyone you think might be interested, and get them to subscribe. Let's try and help the channel to grow if possible. That would be fantastic. Okay, so Hossein says, I think if Taylor came to bat at 3, it would have been better for Zimbabwe. But no, because Maramani wouldn't have been in though. That's what you're forgetting. I think maybe at 4, but he did come at 4, didn't he? So Maramani batted really well, Mohammed name. So I don't think he should have, actually. I think Maramani did a really good job. He would have had more time to get his timing right, maybe. Says, and then maybe Maramani at 4. I think it's difficult to say that he should have, because now in hindsight, Maramani's done really well. So I think actually that was fine. You switch them around, I don't know. I think Taylor didn't look fantastic in the last match either, so he looks a bit rusty. I don't think it would have made too much of a difference. I actually think it potentially could have backfired even. So it just all depends, doesn't it, on the scenario and situation. But it's easy for us to say, but no one really knows, do they? 121 for 4, and Horace Rolfe is now back on. Good Yorker and dug out by Brendan Taylor. 44 of 16 balls needed. It's going to be tough. They're going to have to come up. They need to have one very big over. There's 3 overs remaining, and they need to have a huge over, a 20-run over, basically, at least, I would say, which at the moment looks pretty unlikely, but you never know. 122 for 4 off 17.2 overs, and Williams on strike, 4 off 4. Flicked into the leg side, that will be 4 runs. That's a really good shot. There's one hand on the bat as well. That's a fantastic shot from Sean Williams, and a much needed boundary. Horace Rolfe has been pretty expensive today, to be fair. He's been pretty good actually for most of the series, so pretty surprising. But having a look at the replay, not in total control of it, but he looked quite good, didn't he, doing it? Sean Williams, and some pretty good timing there. Horace Rolfe is going to be running in. 126 for 4 off 17.3 overs. Williams is 8 off 5. Taylor 13 off 15. So let's have a look. Zimbabwe need 39 off 14 balls. Surely they're not going to do it. They could. Imagine if they did. That would be an incredible win, by the way. Right, so Charles says Jadeja just scored 37 off 1 over in the IPL. 37 was there no ball then? No ball in there. Crazy. And there must be a no ball and a free hit in there. I'm assuming. Really good shot from Brennan Taylor. Really, really good shot. So this is a pretty good over now so far. It's 8, 9, 10. That's 11 from it. 1 ball remaining. It's not fantastic, but it's pretty good. Mohammed Hussein says the game was lost when Maramani got out. They couldn't replicate Rizwan and Barber. Yeah. But considering they are not experienced, they did well. I agree. 100%. 110%. I am just going to have a look because Charles is saying apparently that 37 off 1 over, which is pretty crazy. Yeah. Crazy stuff, isn't it? Oh dear. Right, so Pakistan. Zimbabwe are. I made a good go of this, to be fair. I mean, it hasn't been amazing, but 132 for 4 off 18 overs. Let's update this. 2 overs remaining, they need 34. What do we think? It's doable. It's doable. They need 2 big overs. 17 off both overs, and they win. Let's have a look. Having a look at the wickets now, so Hassan Ali trapped the opener first off Masakadza, and then obviously we had the wickets of Madva hit, and he also got Chakrabar as well. 3 wickets for Hassan Ali. Looking good. Oh, another wicket, and he had to try and go for it. Sean Williams, and he's holed out straight to the man at deep mid wicket. Oh dear. Well, I say oh dear. They have to do it. They have to go for it. They need 3. They need 3 runs off each ball at the moment, so it's pretty difficult. Oh, I don't know. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And Hassan Ali picks up another wicket. Can he get a fifer? Can he get a fifer? There's not many fifers in T20 internationals, so that'll be interesting. Looking forward to it. Come on, boys. Joel says Hassan Ali has to bowl slow ball cutters and not in the batsman arc. That's what he's just done, and he's got wickets. So all good. Farhan says your name. My name is Fezan. Thank you very much. Ooh. Right, it's 134 for 5. John Dre's in. He can bat, by the way, this guy. I think he paddled Hassan Ali and no, Horace Rov and Mohammad Hasnain in the last 2 matches for 6. So he loves that shot. I reckon he's going to do something similar. Let's see. Let's have a look, eh? Oh, he's actually no, he's tried to go big. Appealing. Oh, look, appealing for an inside edge through to the keeper. No, okay. Farhan says your country name, the UK, England. Very good bowling from Hassani, much better. Just cramping the batsman. What he needs to be doing. Right, let's see if he can. So 8.42 economy is pretty expensive, but he's got a lot of wickets though. That's the thing. His first 4-wicket haul in T20 internationals. Can he get 5? That'd be nice, wouldn't it? He's only got 1 ball remaining, I think. Yep, that's gonna have to be a pretty good ball to wrap up. Today's been fantastic, Hassan. The only economy of 4.7, 4 wickets, 11 dots. So he's been really, really good today. Oh, very good slow ball to end the over. Actually shaped as well. So he got that slow ball somehow to swing. It's ridiculous bowling. 135 for 5 off 19 overs, and look, it's still doable. It's still doable. It's mathematically possible. The Chargers said that they just scored 37 in 1 over, so apparently anything's possible. So let's see, eh? If anyone can tell us why my face is pretty red, I got burnt yesterday playing cricket. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. 31 of the last over needed. Fernand says how, I think maybe how many to win the last over, maybe? So 31 needed off the last over for Zimbabwe. So they need 5 sixes and a single. That's doable. That's doable. And the first ball will say a lot about how doable it will be. I think they need a boundary off the first ball, really. Horace Rolfe normally bowls pretty well in the last over, to be fair. I love that. John Dre loves that paddle. I think that'll be 4, you know. Oh, they have, I think. Hasnain really well round. He's a lot quicker than Shajil Khan, that's for sure. Charles says, "Oh yeah, did you guys win your performance?" So we had a inter-club game, so mixed between our ones and twos. So it wasn't. I played a friendly last week against the external club, so against Old Wimbledonians, who's one of our other clubs. So preseason friendly, opened the batting, got 31 last week. Batted pretty well to be fair last week, 31, and then just got a good ball and nicked it behind, further behind to the keeper. Is what it is. Yesterday we had an internal game mixture of our ones and twos teams. Opened the batting again, and only got 6. Got out to an off cutter from one of the opening bowlers, who put it on a length for me to drive, and I picked up too late and drove it straight to the man at mid off, and that is oh, that's out, and yeah, hitting. I suddenly, he's like, I don't know what he's doing. He's like, yeah, here you go, thanks. Wicket. Now 139 now for 6 it is. John Dre tried to go for the 6, which is, look, fair enough. That's what you need to do. Like, you have to do it, right? Let me go for the win. You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to bat and get a not out. I'm going to go for it. Honestly, says, what do you think of Shajil Khan? He's too inconsistent for my liking. I don't think he's consistent enough to warrant being in the side, if I'm being honest with you. He says, I really think Barbara and Rizwan should open. Yes. I think the reason why Shajil did is because they wanted to consolidate our middle order and strengthen it. So by having Bakr Zaman and Shajil Khan and Muhammad Rizwan in there, then it means you got Babar Azam in there, Bakr Zaman at 4, Muhammad Hafiz at 5. You just move everyone down 1, and it makes your batting stronger. But really, it doesn't solve the issue we have, which is we need someone to be very solid in that middle order. Sorry, even in T20s, and not just T20s, in I don't know, in ODIs as well. So it's one of those things. Let's see, let's see. Well, it says there's no need to have Shajil opening. Yeah, I agree. Plus his fielding. Yeah, his fielding's not great, is it? Let's be honest. His fielding's pretty poor. Oh, good catch. Oh, that's strapping. Yeah, I thought it was 6, you know. No, it's not. It's another wicket. Oh yes, Pakistan racking up some nice little wickets here. Good catch. Is that Muhammad Rizwan? Why is he fielding? Hey? Oh, yeah. Good catch from Horner's one. Horner says even if he scores a century, but then he drops, let's say Martin Guptill the same match, he has lost us the game. It's true. I agree. So no point having a guy like him. I think unless he improves his fitness and his fielding, I think the thing is he's not X factor enough to say, you know what, we can have you in the team. If he's scoring, if he averages over 50 in T20s, then like you have to play him, and then you could just say to him, okay, you need to improve. But realistically, as you're saying, which is a really good point. I think you have to then say to him, well, you're not good enough to say to us, just have me in as a batsman and hide me in the field. Yeah. So the result for the third T20I, Pakistan win by 24 runs. It's a pretty solid performance. And I was very impressed, though, with Madbah. He was fantastic. Pakistan get the win, which is to be expected, you'd hope, anyway. And yeah, Madbah, I think, was good. Let's have a look, actually. Win the series 2-1, which is good to see. Obviously, I think we would have been expecting a 3-0 victory, but it is what it is. Zimbabwe put up a very good fight, I thought, in that second one, and were deserving winners, actually, as well, to be fair. Right, let's have a look. Let's update this. So, Manchester 59. Pakistan win by 24 runs. I was pretty impressed, I think, with it was the stand between Rizwan and also Babar Azam, I think, which helped, didn't it? Farhan says Pakistan win. I'm happy. Yes, Pakistan do win. Hussein says because what Rizwan and Barbara can do, he simply can't. I think what Rizwan and Barbara can do is be consistent. But yeah. Right. Okay. First of all, thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Please do remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel and share it. Thank you very much. And in addition to that, please remember to like it. Make sure you share it with your brothers, your sisters, your uncles, your aunties, your siblings. I've already said that, haven't you, brothers, sisters, cousins, your parents, everyone who might be interested. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. I will be releasing the review very soon. And yeah, stay safe, stay well. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to wherever you are. Thank you very much.